Hey Waffle Gang, I do hope you are well. My name is Mark and today we're checking out some more Reddit stories, and if you do love a Reddit story, why not consider hitting that like, subscribe, maybe that notification bell too. Let's crack on with today's first story. Much love, guys. Now today's first story comes from Old Man Gerald from the Advice subreddit. It says, my childhood bully is now bullying my son. My son is 6 and he's such a sweet soul. He has his ups and downs as any child does, but he's gentle and at times too good for this world. We haven't had many instances of him being bullied up until now, and he's not taking it well. Back when I was a child/young teen, a certain girl decided to make my life a living hell. She disguised herself as my friend and made me do all kind of things for her, only to call me all the names under the sun for them. She'd make me sit on the floor and call me unworthy to touch any furniture. It was the kind of mental torture no 10-year-old should endure, and I lived through it up until I was 17. I'm 28 now, have a child of my own, and my number one parenting goal has always been to make sure my son never bullies anyone. Well, hers wasn't. She has a son as well, a year older than my kid. It hasn't been an issue up until a few months ago when they moved back to our hometown after spending the first years of the kid's life in the nearest big city. My son, the friendly little guy he is, became friends with the boy, and they had some play dates and fun outings together, which I've been trying to accept, despite that gut feeling. Turns out I was right to worry about it though. My son has been coming home saying that all of his friends have been laughing at him, saying he has rabies. He wants us to get rid of our dogs, and there have been instances of him telling me his friends were saying he lives in a rabies-infested house. The reason? I'm a canine handler and trainer. We have 4 family dogs and have my own business training dogs for the army, police and armed forces, or just protection dogs in general. I've been doing this for 10 years, way before my son was born. The most terrifying part is that the grown-ass adult woman, my former bully, is the one who came up with the amazing idea of calling a 6-year-old rabies infested. A friend of mine showed me a group chat she'd been added to, along with other parents of the kids in my son's friend group, where she's been relentlessly bullying my 6-year-old child, and me by proxy, with the other parents agreeing or laugh reacting. She's editing pictures, downloading them from my website regarding to the dogs we have. I obviously don't post my son, and using the photos the boys have together. I've seen an edited photo of my son's happy face in that hospital isolation room, or my dog's pictures with my son edited so that they're all foaming at the mouth. An adult-ass woman doing this to a 6-year-old little boy. My bub is obviously upset, but he doesn't know about the extent of it. It's just that his friends don't want to play with him because they think he has a deadly infectious disease. He cried himself to sleep tonight, and it makes my heart break because I promised myself he'll never go through what I did. Yet, he's going through it now. Other than the obvious, which would be going to the school, I'd like to get back on her for all the years she spent terrorizing me, and worst of all, terrorizing my son now. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Any payback ideas, if legal, would be appreciated too. My bloody word. As someone, if you've been around here a while, you know that I was bullied when I was younger, bullied growing up, and stories like this always really get to me because I know how long that damage can actually stick around, even to this day. But an adult bullying a 6-year-old child, that's on another fucking level. And I'm not saying OP should do it, but I'd have a very hard time keeping my cool with that person because someone deliberately making your child cry themselves to sleep. My blood is absolutely boiling for OP right now. I'd certainly be showing the pictures that she's making to the school or anyone legally if possible, anything like that. A commenter says to OP, this lady is clearly a psychopath and fixated on you. Those pictures should accidentally find their way to a place of work, as well as to the police as others have mentioned. Another commenter says, I really don't say this often, but I think now is the time to destroy her, but keep it legal. School, police, her son won't learn good things from her. Show him too that there are consequences to your actions. Another commenter says, definitely talk to a lawyer about this harassment. Talk to your school about the harassment and definitely talk to your kid about bullying and that it's not his fault. Bullies tend to project onto someone that they see as better than them, so it's very likely that the adult bully or a child bully has some kind of untreated disease and acting like it's someone else's problem makes them feel better about themselves. The adult sounds narcissistic and I would definitely take advantage of that. Narcs tend to be easily angered, so you might be able to verbally make them feel so shitty about themselves that they resort to assault, which you'll be able to contact police over. Or you could post all of this experience on social media and print out flyers with the adult's face on them, captioned with "Adult woman harasses a literal 6-year-old child," and paste them all over your neighborhood, grocery stores, school corkboards, etc. Another commenter says, "This isn't just about your son, but obviously your main concern. This is also about your livelihood. Insinuating that somehow your dogs are defective is a direct assault on your business. Sometimes, sadly, a business-directed lawsuit has a better chance at achieving results. When a child is brought in, it gets labeled emotional and downgraded. Hit her with a defamation lawsuit against your business. Be cold and calculating and extract as much in damages, yes money, as you can. Frankly, bankrupting the bee is better than she deserves." And one more commenter who says, "I'm so sorry about this. You should report this to the school. That counts as harassment. You can report it to the police even. Adult bullying a minor is quite a serious offense. Schools should have policies against this. I don't know where you live, but editing photos of minor as an offensive matter is also a crime, at least where I live. You have the proof. You can report it to the police. You say you've been making sure that your son never bullies anyone, and I'm sure he won't, and you've done a good job in that. But you need to make sure he knows what to do and how to stand up for him if he gets bullied. That is a skill many kids don't learn, especially if they are kind and gentle, like your son seems to be. Maybe look into classes for martial arts for him. It teaches self-defense. Learning how to defend himself is something that can save him a lifetime of pain and protect his pure heart and allow him to carry himself through life with gentleness. I'm so sorry you're going through this. Stand up for yourself and your son. You both deserve to live in peace. You will get through this, and I'm rooting for you both." So Opie comes in nearly 2 weeks later and says, "Hi all. About 2 weeks ago, I posted on here about a very concerning situation regarding myself, my son, and my childhood bully. A whole lot of you have been asking for an update, so here it is. After reading through all the comments, I decided not to post her on social media for everyone to see. Mostly because I don't need a defamation case on top of everything that's going on right now. I did, however, look into her life and why she had to move back to our hometown, and with the help of some childhood friends, I was able to find out she did something similar to one of her co-workers. No children involved though, and ended up getting fired, hence was unable to stay in the city. I did, however, file a police report and got a half-assed, scared shitless apology from her via messenger. I can't say more about how it's been going when it comes to the claim and court dates, etc., so I'm sorry I can't give you an update on that as of now. Some of you mentioned I should also go to the school and show off the dogs to the kids, so they all understand what the dogs actually do. I can't do that sadly because school's out. However, I was able to work with the town and organize a meeting in the park where I was able to show what my dogs did. It was for everyone to attend, but from what my son has told me, a surprising amount of his peers actually did show up. I have another show scheduled for this weekend during the summer festival in town. My son will actually be performing this time as well. He's super excited. I'm glad I was able to have him make some good memories after all that. Lastly, for the people who wanted me to beat her up, I am 22 weeks pregnant, so no thanks. My partner beat me to it though. He's a firefighter, so for most of this, I wasn't really able to talk to him about my feelings when he was working his double shifts. But the moment I was able to sit down with him and tell him, he was straight to the house to have a word with her, bully husband. He came out in one piece. He's fine and the other dude is alive, but if I wasn't a mother with a baby on the way, plus an adult woman, I would say it was entertaining as fuck. Another small piece of information people have been wondering about. I did say I'm 28 and that I've been doing this for 10 years, and someone mentioned it's impossible. Well, I've actually been working with dogs way before I turned 18. My dad did it for a living my whole life as well. I did not, however, open my business when I was 18. Lol. I joined the army as soon as I could, so that was my first real adult job. So there's that. Thank you all for helping me out with it and getting mad alongside me. We're all doing much better. It's my son's birthday tomorrow, so I've got cake pops to dip and a backyard to set up. But for any of you who are actually worried about him, he's happy, smiling and excited as hell for presents tomorrow. Oh, thank goodness for that. A commenter on the back of this says, "Wait, so your husband fought the other husband?" Opie says, "It was a bit of a scuffle, yeah." And one more commenter who says, "Are we accepting of sending the kid to karate class and then punching the bully kid in the mouth?" Opie says he'll be doing Krav Maga starting September. Both me and my brother did, and it really gave us both a confidence boost, so I'm signing him up as well. But finding out she had apparently bullied a co-worker so badly that she lost her job makes it just seem like that's just who she is. Wherever she goes, she's going to continue to do that until she gets called out for it. And I'm glad that OP didn't get sucked into the whole revenge thing in the end, even though in my mind I would have loved if she got what was coming to her. But reality is different, and I'm glad she reported it to the police, kept the evidence, and was doing something really positive by organizing this sort of dog demonstration at the same time. And her son got to be a part of that as well. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below, and let's move on to another story. Now, our next story has a trigger warning on it of racism, so if you do want to skip the story, please feel free to do so. Timestamps are always down in the description, along the timeline below. Thank you. It's from a throwaway account who says, my fiance wants me to get circumcised before our wedding. Also a bit of a warning again, it might have been around lockdown times, etc. So keep that in mind whilst listening. We met in the summer of 2018 and got engaged last year. Although our relationship is pretty solid, she can be very hot-headed. For example, she gets upset when things don't go her way and takes it as a personal insult. It's definitely a princess syndrome that can be difficult to deal with, but it never caused serious issues. A couple of months ago, she told me that I will get circumcised before our wedding later this year. I said no, and she straight up told me that it's not a choice. We argued for a bit, and she said that I wouldn't be attracted to her if she had an outie vagina with extra skin hanging. Her words, not mine. I told her that it's not really the same thing at all, and that I'd be attracted to her regardless. However, she got very irritated and ignored me for the rest of the evening. She has not stopped talking about this since that day. Every day she sends me articles talking about the benefits of circumcision, that it's totally healthy/safe and why I should do it. She says that civilized men get circumcised and that we're not like those Europeans. The thing is, she's mixed race, half French, and grew up in France, so I don't understand her thought process here. Her ex was French, but she repeatedly said that she dislikes French people and wants me to be better than that. According to her, that includes getting a circumcision. Yesterday, she brought it up again, and I said she has no right to tell me what to do with my body. She yelled that she spends a lot of time and effort into her appearance and isn't asking for much in return. While it's true she spends a lot of money on beauty, hair, facial treatments, around $800 a month, I don't think you can compare that to a circumcision. She got very upset, calling me selfish and heartless, and basically told me to fuck off. Normally when we argue, she doesn't get that heated, but I could hardly tolerate her attitude yesterday. Later that evening we had sex. Yes, I'm stupid, and in the middle of it, she brought up the topic again. It felt very manipulative. When I told her that this is not the right time, she accused me of not loving her and actually started crying. Since she rarely cries, this didn't seem genuine. She got up and told me that we will get this done either way, and that I shouldn't let such a small issue ruin what we have. To be honest, that sounded ominous, and I don't even know what to think of it. Is this something we can work out at all? Throughout our entire relationship, she never complained about my uncircumcised penis and how it's such a big deal to her. It's given me anxiety about our future, and I don't even know what to do. We've had so many discussions about it, and it always ends the same way. Bloody hell, the fact that she's giving out demands like it's not a choice and we'll get this done either way, it almost had me thinking, has she already got this booked in or something? And add that to the manipulation, bringing it up every single day, trying to send him articles, calling him selfish and heartless, bringing it up during sex, and also crying and accusing him of not loving her because he won't alter his body. All of that combined would have me, well, even less than that, would have me noping out of this situation completely. And a commenter says, this relationship sounds hellish. I can't imagine wanting to stay with someone who makes such demands and who cries during sex in an attempt to influence me. What are you doing? Ubi says, I'll be honest, I don't know. The Marmalade Sandwich says, if you don't know, there's no way you should be marrying her. She's showing you who she is. I think you should believe her. Commenter says, wow, this girl sounds absolutely awful. It's bad enough to try and pressure your partner to change their appearance in small ways, but she's trying to force you to get an unnecessary procedure on your dick and harping on it. Her tears were 100% manipulation. You need to tell her that you are absolutely not altering your body for a ridiculous preference, and if it bothers her that much, you will leave, and you should. This is a woman that doesn't respect your bodily autonomy, and therefore doesn't respect you as a person. Honestly, don't think this relationship will last, and if you stay with her or God forbid go through with this, you're setting yourself and potential future children up for a lifetime of emotional abuse and being controlled. I have to add too that I find it pretty strange she's presumably fucking you for quite some time now, and is just insisting you get circumcised now that you're about to be married. Opie says, that's what I don't understand. When we first had sex, she didn't even comment on it. This came out of nowhere, and I don't understand why she didn't bring it up earlier. Commenter replies saying, did you ask her why she suddenly feels this way? I mean, I don't think the answer will change what I think about her or that this won't last, but I'm genuinely curious. Opie says I asked her, but she won't give me a reason. She just says that it's her preference and that discussed it with her friend. So it was roughly a week after this that Opie came in with her update and says, I don't know where to start, but I'd like to thank everyone on here first. I received countless PMs, all pretty much saying the same thing, yet I still wanted to work out things and marry her. And a few days after my post, we had a huge fight. She threatened me. I won't give too many details, but it was more than enough to give me a wake-up call. And that's when I finally realized that this relationship isn't healthy or normal. I had those thoughts before, but her actions that day confirmed it. Right now, I'm in the process of completely removing her from my life. That incident had a significant impact on my mental health, and at this point, I just need a long break. I've spoken to her parents in private, and they're almost begging me to rethink the whole situation. I won't. I still love her, but couldn't do this anymore. I read through all the comments again after the incident, and they put things into perspective. Thank you again for all the advice and PMs. Now our next story is titled, Am I the arsehole here for not wanting our groomsman to bring his horrible partner to our wedding? First time posting in this, and I'm really at my wit's end here. So I, 27 female, am marrying my fiancé, 31 male, in a few months. We had previously set a standard that if people hadn't been in a relationship 6 months prior to a wedding day, they couldn't have a +1, so we wouldn't have random people at our wedding that we didn't know. Long story short, one of the groomsmen got a girlfriend and we can't stand her. She's mean to him and others, controlling, manipulative, and just a horrible individual. We've tried getting to know her on 4 separate occasions and have not enjoyed any experience, as she always makes it about her, and they always end up in a fight where they break up. They've broken up 8 times in 2 months that we know of. She got mad at him and screamed and yelled at him for talking to me about getting her involved and me inviting her out with me and my friends more, all while she was actively dancing on other guys and intentionally making our friend jealous. She deleted every text I sent, so it looked like I was ignoring her. I went to him crying that I was ignoring her and that we weren't putting in the effort when I was. I have every text I ever sent her where I was being nice and trying to make plans with them. Said groomsman brought up bringing her to our wedding, and my fiancé and I discussed and ultimately said no and gave all our reasons why. She doesn't respect us, me or him individually, and she is not someone we want to surround ourselves with because the drama that comes with her is not something we want to deal with on the best day of our lives. There's so much more she's done in the multiple encounters we've had and the things he's told us, but it'd take forever to get through. He sent us a text and said he, in fact, will be bringing his partner or he will no longer attend. Before hearing our response, he went and got fitted for his tux, which made me even angrier that he thinks we're just going to let him bully us into letting them come. We're trying to decide what to tell him as he's very important to my fiancé, like family important. So I guess I just need advice. What should we do? And am I the arsehole here for not wanting her there and getting angry? Edit. The relationship thing 6 months before the wedding was so that there weren't people that we didn't know at our wedding day that's supposed to be surrounded by the ones we love. There are always exceptions, and anyone who questioned the rule, text or called, and we had conversations and tried our best to accommodate. He was not given a +1, and she very clearly does not want what is best for us. Our venue has a very strict guest limit, so we had to make cuts somewhere. Second edit. He did not start dating her until after invitations were sent, and +1s were decided. Look, the 6-month rule is almost irrelevant in this situation because they know this person, yet every interaction that they've had with them has been absolutely shit. I think if she had been wonderful and a nice person and they really got on with her and wanted her there, they probably would have made some exception. And I mean, this couple has broken up, 8 times in 2 months, did it say? If my wedding was going ahead and this couple was coming, that would be alarm bells in itself that I'm potentially inviting a breakup to my wedding here. And I'd probably be calling his bluff on the she will be coming or I won't thing. And I'd be saying to him, we're sorry you won't be able to make it. We'll miss you. And in some ways, I find it a bit sad because the groomsman is in what sounds like an absolute unhealthy relationship. But at the same time, you can't let someone else's dodgy relationship dictate what happens on your wedding day. The commenter says, I guarantee that text was not sent by your friend, but his girlfriend. Why don't you and your fiance invite just him over and just lay it all out there and tell him exactly how you feel about this girl and how unhealthy their relationship is? Honestly, she's not going to be around in another few months when you get married. They've been together 2 months and broken up 8 times. Yeah, they won't be together. Opie says, we've tried and he agrees with everything we say, but won't leave the situation unfortunately. Commodore says, I understand you don't like her, but she's the groomsman's significant other. After your wedding day, he has to still deal with the fallout of his decision regarding her coming or not. I wouldn't stay with a boyfriend that went to a wedding where I was banned. Most significant others would stand up for their significant other. Does she meet this 6-month criteria you set? Opie says she does not. They're broken up once a week since the beginning of their relationship. No, I'm not kidding or being dramatic, literally once a week. And in my opinion, I should want to be surrounded by people who love us and only want the best for us on one day in my whole life. She clearly doesn't, since she's deleting texts and making it look like I'm ignoring her when I'm not, and talking bad about me and pretending to be my friend only to scream at him because he and I had a conversation. Opie says she had made every single encounter we've made with her miserable. I do not want to risk that on what's supposed to be such a happy day for us. I guess is where my issue is. Snarking says, I understand. Personally, I think I'd also prefer them both to stay at home so there's no risk of causing drama. You have the right to form boundaries on your special day. They don't have to agree with it, but they have to accept it. I just hope that it doesn't cause a rift between him and your fiance if he doesn't show up. My boyfriend didn't go to one of his longtime best friend's wedding as it was in a different state and he couldn't get the time off to fly over there. And that friend never spoke to him again. Opie says, I'm letting my fiance ultimately decide what he wants as I don't want him to ever resent me in the future. I also hope it doesn't cause a rift. I'm so sorry about your boyfriend's friend. I hate that so much and scares me, which is why I guess I was seeking advice from people who don't know of any of the parties involved. Thanks for your response and best of luck. So it was 2 months later that Opie came in with her update and says, wow, I did not expect so many people to comment and give advice. If anyone is even reading this or cares, here's the update. So our wedding went amazing and was everything I ever dreamed of having. It was truly perfect. She stayed away and he stayed the whole time. Not as juicy as I know some were probably hoping. My now husband was able to celebrate with his favorite people without her ruining anyone's fun. I did hear through the grapevine that she caused a bunch of drama when we met her out after the wedding, but at this point, who cares? Maybe that's mean, but they've pushed me to my wit's end. He hasn't spoken to me since we told him she couldn't come, and has only spoken to my husband to get his things out of our shared house because he is moving in with her. So I guess misery wants company, and they can enjoy being miserable, and he can enjoy picking up his things that she throws in her front yard, calling him names, yelling at him in front of his friends and family, and just overall her being an absolutely vile individual. They need therapy separately and together, but that's not my place to say anymore. Thank you everyone for your kind words. I married my best friend in the whole entire world, and now we get to spend a lifetime together. And yes, when they inevitably break up, he will have a spot to come to so he isn't alone. We will always love him, but at what point do we stop enabling? Thank you again, everyone. I'm really glad that OP said at the end that he will have a spot to come to when it inevitably breaks up. We always talk about that in relationships like this, about just keeping that door open. You don't have to be a part of it, but keeping that door open just in case they need a place to escape to. Because a lot of people say just cut him off, but relationships like this, they're rarely that simple, are they? From the outside, it's glaringly obvious the girlfriend is manipulative and she's throwing things and all this kind of stuff. But when you're the one that's in it, we see it all the time in these stories that your perspective gets warped and skewed over time. You start normalizing the behavior and that's your new normal, and even though everyone else can see that it's completely unacceptable. I kind of like the way that OP dealt with it. Didn't sacrifice their wedding to keep the peace or anything like that, but also didn't slam the door in his face forever. Left him with that escape route when he needs it. And hopefully one day he will realize that everyone around him wasn't trying to ruin his relationship. They're trying to save him from a toxic one. And until then, there's not much anyone else can do. They've tried talking to him directly about it and just doesn't want to hear it at this moment in time. But now I'm going to turn this one to you guys. What do you guys make of this situation? Let us know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now, just a huge thank you for being here today, getting involved in the stories. Your love, your support, your time, it always means the absolute world to me. So thank you so much for being here, and hopefully I'm going to see you in the next one. Take care and much love.